Listen to the Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. Level A2, Oxford Reading University. Part 1.
It was a fine spring morning. The mole cleaned up his little home. He felt the soft spring breeze and the warm sunlight, so he climbed out of his hole to enjoy nature. He passed through a field of flowers and came to a fast, noisy river. He noticed an animal with thick, shiny hair on the other side of it. It was the water rat. The rat climbed into a boat and sailed across the river to invite the mole aboard. They spent all day sailing along the river. The mole met many of the rat's friends. The lives of the river animals were so busy. When the sun went down, they returned to the rat's hole. The rat invited the mole to stay with him for some time. And so, the mole's incredible adventures began. One hot afternoon, the mole asked the rat, "Can we visit your friend, Mr. Toad? He is a very famous animal. I can't wait to meet him." "Certainly," the rat agreed immediately. "Mr. Toad enjoys receiving guests." In the evening, they arrived at a huge stone palace. "Mr. Toad is very rich," the rat explained. "He owns a palace, a garden, and even horses." Mr. Toad was excited to see the guests. "My friends, I am going to travel to foreign lands," he cried. "You are welcome to join me. I have already made all the necessary arrangements and prepared my best carriage." The rat didn't want to leave home. However, he agreed to go on an adventure because his friend the mole was excited about it. They set off in the evening. "Who needs your river?" Mr. Toad laughed. That made the rat very angry. Mr. Toad considered himself a great traveler, but he never helped his friends set up camp or make breakfast. He just slept and rested the whole time. One morning they were riding down a country road. Suddenly they heard a loud sound behind their backs and turned around.
If you want more English audiobooks with translations and transcriptions, try Eva app today. Listen, read, learn new words, and dive into the world of adventure, crime, romance, and magic every day.
An enormous car was coming toward them at full speed. Fortunately, they managed to hide in a hole in the ground before it hit them. But their carriage was destroyed. "Incredible!" Mr. Toad shouted. "Who needs a carriage when you can have a car?" "You are crazy!" cried Rat. He was very angry. "We nearly died." By the evening they reached a village. They caught a train and made it safely back to Mr. Toad's palace. The next evening, Mr. Toad appeared to be the focus of everyone's attention. He went into town to buy the most expensive car. 2. The mole wanted to meet another friend of the rat, Mr. Badger. But Mr. Badger lived in a dark forest on the other side of the river. The animals called it the Wild Wood. The rat refused to go there because the place was full of danger. Winter was coming. One evening the friends sat by the fire. The rat was writing a poem, but soon fell asleep. The mole climbed out of the hole quietly and ran toward the forest. "I am going to meet Mr. Badger soon," the mole thought. He was excited at first, but as he went deeper into the forest, his fear grew stronger. He heard footsteps behind his back. He turned and saw a round face with 2 red eyes looking hard at him. He moved and the face disappeared. The mole was very scared. The rat followed his friend's footsteps through the dark forest. He searched the woods for a long time. Finally, he discovered the mole in a small hole under a tree. The mole's voice was shaking. He was ready to cry. "I told you to never go into the wild wood alone," the rat shouted angrily. He helped the mole out, and they walked slowly through the forest. The mole was tired and afraid, but then he looked at the sky and felt at peace. It was snowing. The scary forest disappeared under the soft white carpet. "Ow!" he cried suddenly. "I cut my leg." The rat picked up a small metal object from the ground and cried happily, "We have found Mr. Badger's house." Soon they discovered a green metal door. The sign above it said, "Mr. Badger." They knocked on the door and waited a long time before it opened. The expression on Mr. Badger's face was not kind. He never liked visitors and preferred to be alone. But as soon as he recognized his dear friend, his voice became softer. "Ratty, what are you doing in the wood? Come in. I will give you dry clothes to change into," he said. The badger's hole was large and comfortable. Long, narrow tunnels led from the hallway in different directions. The guests entered the dining room, warmed by the fire. In the middle of the room stood a large wooden table with a lot of food on it. "Let us have dinner together," Mr. Badger suggested, smiling. After dinner, they moved closer to the fire. Mr. Badger was interested in all the news from the river. "Mr. Toad has gone completely crazy," the rat complained. "He has bought several cars and destroyed them already. He hurt himself many times. We are his friends, Mr. Badger, and we must help him." "There is not much we can do in winter," said Mr. Badger sadly. "It is too dangerous now. We must wait until spring. Then we can talk to Mr. Toad and prevent future trouble." The guests had a good night's rest at the Badger's place. In the morning they were ready to go home. Mr. Badger led them through his underground tunnels to the edge of the forest. On their way, the mole thought, "I can't wait to get back home. I have had enough of the wild wood." 3. It was already getting dark. The 2 friends made their way back to the river after a busy day. Suddenly, the mole stood still. He realized that his home was near. He called out to the rat, asking him to stop. But his friend was afraid of getting lost in the snow and moved on. The mole ran up to him. Then he sat down on the cold ground and started to cry. "We have just passed my home. Yes, it is small and not as comfortable as yours, but I love it with all my heart. And you didn't even turn around when I called you." "I am sorry, my friend," the rat said. "Let us go back. We will find your home even if we have to search all night." The mole found it very soon. He moved quickly through the dark forest and jumped into a long, narrow hole in the ground. It wasn't easy for the rat to keep up with him. Soon they were at the door of the mole's house. He unlocked it and they went inside. All the furniture was covered with dust and seemed old. The beautiful paintings on the walls were dark. The mole cried as he looked at the sad state of his house. "How could I leave my home for so long?" "What a lovely little place," the rat exclaimed. "Don't be sad. Let's make a fire and clean up a little." Together they got the house in order. There was little food in the house, but they didn't complain. They were especially happy to find some beer. Soon they felt tired and went to bed. "How happy I am to have my own home where everything belongs to me," the mole thought before falling asleep. The following day they returned to the rat's hole. The rat went to visit his other friend, the otter. He learned that the otter's little son Portly was missing. The rat couldn't leave his friend in trouble. He returned home and told everything to the mole. Together they boarded their boat and set out in search of Portly. They were making their way along the river. Suddenly the rat jumped to his feet and the boat shook. "Did you hear that?" he asked. "That voice is calling me. Hurry up, we can't lose it." "I hear nothing but the wind in the trees," the mole said. They turned into a narrow arm of the river and came closer to land. And then the mole heard the call too, and some beautiful music. The rat was crying. "We will find him here," he said. Suddenly, fear gripped the mole's heart. Or was it peace? He couldn't tell. They moved slowly toward the call. Finally, they came to a small island that lay in the middle of the river. In the light of the moon, they saw him. He was an enormous animal with sharp horns and a kind face, strong arms, hairy legs, and hooves. In his hand, he was holding a magic flute. It was Pan, the spirit of nature. Portly was sleeping peacefully in his arms. Pan protected him from all the dangers of the forest. The friends stood there and couldn't take their eyes off him. Suddenly, the cool night wind touched their faces. Pan disappeared, and they forgot about him at once. They ran up to little Portly. The little otter was very scared to wake up in a strange place. The rat noticed some unusual footprints on the ground and thought, "Has some kind of big animal walked around here?" 4. As soon as spring came, Mr. Badger visited the two friends. He wanted to talk about Mr. Toad. Together they decided to help him. So they went to Toad Palace. When they found him, Mr. Badger became very angry. "All you do is cause trouble for other animals, Mr. Toad," he shouted. "You hurt yourself and fight with the police. I can no longer allow you to drive a car. We are going to lock you in your bedroom and keep an eye on you until you feel better." They watched him day and night. One day, as the rat was keeping watch at his door, Mr. Toad cried in a low, sad voice, "Please get a doctor. I am dying." The rat was very kind at heart. He believed Mr. Toad and immediately grew scared. Perhaps he is ill, he thought, and ran out of the palace to get help. "What a stupid animal," Mr. Toad said, laughing. He climbed out of the window and ran away. He walked along the country road toward the village and stopped to eat at a cafe. Just as he sat down at a table, he heard a car stop outside. Two fine gentlemen arrived at the cafe to have lunch. They left their car outside. Mr. Toad went out to take a closer look at it. A couple of minutes later, he was already in the driver's seat, racing down the street. Mr. Toad couldn't get very far. He was soon stopped by the police and taken to court. The judge of the local court was very angry with Mr. Toad and so were the members of the jury.
Part 2 is coming soon.